You can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you. Okay. So what happened? I'm sorry, my camera again. Okay, we have only 1 hour to discuss this section, and so the way we do is quite a little bit easy. This learning section we will start to by my introduction first. So I will present on my slide, and then as in previous message, I expect you already installed Power BI in your PC, and then I have 2 data sets I have sent to you, and we are ready to import it in Power BI. So a little bit about Power BI. So you can see my screen on learning section objective now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So what we expect for this section is we will import, join, and transform different tables data in Power BI, and then we try to create a full report using different visualization charts in Power BI. So we will use Power BI desktop, and also we get quick understanding about new measure and column. So what is different, and then apply basic DAX function in Power BI to create visualization, and also the scorecard. And then we apply a little bit about the decomposition tree and its key influencer to determine which parameters is most important for one target we define, and what is a correlation between different parameters. So the agenda is quick. So we try to import and transform data. So what is it in Power BI, and what is different between Power BI and Tableau? And then we try to create and modify the visualization in Power BI. So handling directly in Power BI. So it's not just talking. So we will do action. We'll try to do a report, and I will show you the way to build a dashboard. So what is different between the reports and dashboard, and the basic of DAX function. And finally, we will try to handle a data set that relates directly to the project we are doing on. So the way is I will try to talk on my slide first. And if you have any question, please put on the chat, and we will have a question answer at the end of section. That this way we will save our time. Okay. So Power BI here software help us to make a presentation of data put in different type of block in dashboard, and it's BI tool. Power BI is not new, but it's not old. So the first version of Power BI is around in 2015, and Power BI we can use is free product from Microsoft. I can quick show the architecture of Power BI. So we can do from data preparation. In this step, Power BI allow us to import and use several type data, and allow to connect online with different data source. or we can use different type data from text, Excel, CSV, or PDF, etc., and we transform it. So transform is a little bit different compared to other BI tools like Tableau or SAS, and we will handle this step in next section. When we transform data, so the Power BI will store the data under the data warehouse. So the data here is a little bit different compared to the data we have input to at the beginning. So what we have transformed, the final action will be stored here to put in the report dashboard we build in Power BI. In Power BI is a little bit easy, so it's easy to use and learn. I feel that it's easier than Tableau. So I expect in 1 hour we could do something with Power BI, use our dataset. And finally, is we can publish it by push it online and share with our partner or different business partner. So the next step I will talk quick about what is reports and dashboard. So maybe all of us already know about the reports and dashboard. The step in Power BI is we prepare the data set. So the data sets we can import in Power BI in the different formats from SQL, directly from different queries, use SQL or Excel or CSV or JSON or internet, etc. And in today we will use a CSV and JSON to import to Power BI. When we process data and on the data set are prepared and ready for the report, we will build reports. So the key difference between reports and dashboard we can quickly summarize is reports is maybe 1 page or multi pages, and we use only one data set. We can filter, we can highlight, we can slide in reports, and the reports we can update easily by refreshing the data sets. And the final level is the dashboard. So dashboard is different from reports. Dashboard only we have only 1 page, and the dashboard we can pin from different reports. So it's maybe from 1 or more reports, and we can build dashboard, use several data sets. But in dashboard, we cannot filter or slice, and it's not update automatically. So if we want to update dashboard, we have update reports, and then we pin the reports into the dashboard again. So that is the basic idea. And today we will build reports. If we publish reports and share reports, we will pin reports and we make it in a dashboard. Okay, so what we do today is we will apply directly some skill in Power BI to handle the data we will do for the project directly. It's not very how to say, it's not very large. So in the DAX function, DAX is mean the data analysis equation or expression. So it's just a function in Power BI. And in Power BI, we call it DAX. We can apply DAX to create a new column or a new measure. And during the hand-on based on our data set, we will use the DAX to create a new function, a new column and a new measure, and we will see the difference later. Okay, and for who have already know about Tableau, Power BI do not have parameters as in Tableau. You can see the table under here is a summary of the 10 different group of DAX function available in Power BI. So example, time legend, we have last day, date at end of the year, etc. Or date function, we will call year, today, now, or we can make a calendar. On the logical function is like and similar to all other tools, we have if, and, or, not, etc. We can use information function like is text to check if a text is text or not. So it will return the Boolean result. We have several statistical function, example min, max, average, medium, etc. As a mathematical function like divide, exponential or absolute, etc. So it's basic one. The parent-child function I never use, so I will not mention here because I did not understand what is that. For the text function, we have on the function or the DAX function as we have in Excel, like upper, left, right, or substitute. And for the table function, we have distinct to distinguish or just pick up the number of distinct value in the column, filter or on or tag on value. And finally is advanced one. So the advanced one we will not function, we will not mention in this section, like we declare a variable, something like in Tableau. But in this section, we will try to calculate DAX function. This is a very popular one to use to calculate the value based on several filters. If for everybody use Python, we can understand calculate in function to calculate value based on several conditions. It's okay. I do not talk too fast.
No, perfect.
Thank you. Okay. So how can we how can Power BI use to do our current project? So we can import data from the crude data. We can transform it. We can join different tables easy, and then we can make reports, analyze key parameters. Key parameters is mean we find out correlation to find out which parameters is more influence on a target function, etc. And inside finding is mean example we determine which type of building we have a space to improve or upgrade lighting to improve efficiency, etc. So now we switch to how build a dashboard report using energy data set. So I use a data set, energy data set from California state. So in the data set, before we build up Power BI reports, we have several questions. Example, we have the current data set and we have question. So how many building is there in this data set, and how many building type, how many building we have energy star is lower than 50. So we will filter and find out their number to determine a space. We have how many building we could apply our project and update the lighting energy efficiency, etc. And then what is energy star, or what is the relationship between year view and energy star? So is it a very old building, have always energy star riding low, or river, etc.? And so I put it on the question so we can study later. But all of the question we will try to answer in the reports. Okay. Here is expect product we will build up after the section and try to link with another data set to provide geography chart on the location of the data set. So you can see here is location on Los Angeles city. And we try quick this one is for advanced feature. So we try to get understand about the decomposition tree to get understand which parameters is most influence. This one is the same, but two-way of expose to get understanding the relationship between different parameters in the data set. So it's fine, it's okay. We can start the Power BI and try to import the data set. Everybody ready?
Yes.
It's fine.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. So let's start Power BI. So when we start Power BI, we have the interface like this one. So we have a space, empty space here. We call it canvas. We have different typo in here, so different function. We have filter table, filter tab, and visualization tab. We have a basic one, different kind of chart. So it's very easy to get understanding in deep input. And then we have an advanced function is a link to Python or R to make a visualization. But this is advanced one, so we will not mention about it. The last one is fill. Fill here is when we import data sets. The data set will appear here. On the left side, we have here is canvas, or we call it reports. The second one is data. When we have data, the data will appear here. And the last one is models. Models will appear as a joining different relationship between different tables. So let's say we start to get data first. On the import data set, we have several options to import what kind of data set we have. We have available. What kind of data set available we have. Example, Excel, CSV, etc. Or we can do from the web. But we do not have time, so I will show you. We import from home file, text file, and we connect with the data set. So when we import from a CSV file, when we import from a CSV file, maybe the format of the data set is not perfect yet, and there are some errors, so we have to transform it before we put it in Power BI. So it means of the transform data button here when we hit it. If we load the data set from Excel example, and we make sure that all the data set are ready, no error, everything okay, and we can put it in the data visualization section, we just put in load. Okay, now we transform it because of the data set is not ready because we use CSV file. Okay, when we put on transform, so this one is data set is text file, text type. Okay, this one is the wall number is fine. Okay, let's say example, this column, I do not need it for the current visualization. We can remove it. For each time we handle the Power BI allow us to undo it, but undo it without the Control Z or Control V like in Excel. But this apply step here. If we want to recover the last action, we just remove it and we get the column again. Okay, so I just remove it. So on the apply step here is will record on my action. Okay, so next one, the difference between national median something. So this one, Power BI understand this text one, but the text format is not correct. So this one is decimal number, right? But look at in here, we have some cell with not available, not available. If we apply it in decimal, the decimal number, it will return error because we get not available. It's not the number. Before we do that, Power BI allow us to replace value. So we replace not available, and then we replace it. Okay, and we apply by transform it in decimal. And in this case, we do not get error. Okay. The same here. Example, when I try to not do not replace not available and apply this decimal, we can get error here. You can see, right? So when we get error here, we cannot put it in Power BI and we cannot put it in data visualization. So I undo this action and I have to replace and then apply the data decimal number. So energy star score is the same thing. We replace value. And of course, we have several action we can do in the transform data step. Power BI allow us to insert column, delete column, make a new data, input data, and etc. and so on. So many function we can do it in Excel. Okay, this one is decimal number. We do the same for the stocks. So maybe this one we do not need, we remove it. Okay, same thing. Okay, so we check year bill, it's already okay. Okay, when we done and everything we feel is we believe is okay, we close and apply here, and the data set will import and store in the space of Power BI. So the data set now is a little bit different compared to the beginning data set, and we can see the data set here, or we move here to see the full data set. And you can see that we have a lot of null value here. So the Power BI will appear the null data first, and then the not empty one will appear later. Okay, the second step, we try to import the second data set from junction file. The junction file is a US zip code, latitude and longitude. So I download it from internet, because in the data set here from California, there is not longitude and latitude, so we can use another data set to determine longitude and latitude of any building we have. So this column we do the same thing. So we remove this column we do not need. So city maybe zip code. Zip code we maybe we rename it postal code. It's easier to get understanding, right? This column I do not need, remove it. Geo point, remove it. Yes. Longitude, yes, I use it. So rename it in longitude. California state and latitude. Okay. And then other information maybe not need. So I remove it also. Geo and record time. It's not necessary. Okay, everything done for the second data set. So I close and apply. Okay. Okay, back to the data set. Now we have two table. Maybe we rename it for because the name is too long. So we can name it US zip. Okay, right, equal. Okay, we can see here when we put on the model tab, we can see that Power BI recognize automatically the link between the two datasets. And you can see here the postal code between the two typo in link. And be careful when we have a join multi to one, it's fine, or one to multi is fine. But if in a multi tables and we have a multi to multi connection, be careful. We might get a big trouble with calculation. So this one is multi to one. So multi to one. So here is postal. Here is key parameters. Key parameters. And here is postal. Here is foreign key, right? And here's primary key. If the connection is not correct, you can modify by double click in here, and we can see that the connection between this table, the industry data set from California, is postal code, and the second one is US zip code. We can select here and here to make a connection or joining. Okay. So up to this step, everyone okay?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. Okay. So in this report, we back to the expect report. We could recognize that when we want to build up a report, we have to imagine what type of block we have in the canvas. And for this case, we consider today we have three kind of block. First one is text one. Okay, so I put it on the text here. I type something here like loss and the last department of building. So because the data is in a lot and the last, I can change the size. Example 28, 24, bigger, Aryan. Okay. And maybe Santo is nice. I love something. Okay. So this one is first kind of block. So block of text. We move the block here, and if we want to format it, we could format on their tab, right? Okay, the second one is the car. So to answer first question, how many building is there in the data set? This question is a little bit easy, right? It's quite easy to answer. Just find out the ID, So the building ID here, right? So in my experience, Power BI is very smart. So if you want to do something, just thinking about click first, and it will appear here, right? But we do not prefer this chart because we just want to appear the number, and we click on the car. So we have 40,000 building, right? Okay, 40,000 building. And this is the second type of block we have. Okay, let's say we click on the block and we try to format to get a better view. Okay, general, let's say background. I will try to background change it to this color is fine. Okay, and then the border, I want to border example 10 pixel. Okay, we have something like this one. If we happy with that, we stop, right? Okay. So the second question is the number of type of building. Let's say we have a second type of block. We just make copy it by select it, Control C, and then we Control V. We have second card. Okay, so the format is the same, size is the same, everything is the same. We just change the number here. So the second question we have to answer is type of building. So we get here the building type. We find a so here property type. Okay, we click in here. So it's wrong because we will make a new car, but we do not want it. So we select on the block, and we change the block type in here. Okay, so what happened? Because the property types is a text type, and the second we have a duplicate. So we have to call distinct code property, right? So it's wrong. Okay, how to solve it? We have to make a DAX function or a new measure. To make a new measure in Power BI, drag your mouse on the any field, on any column in the table, and then you right click mouse. You have a table here, a list of table here. So we can select a new measure or new column, and in this case I do new measure first. Okay, I say I name it number of building type. It's equal. So we make count, and we want to distinct count, and Power BI will list different count function available in DAX, and we select this one, and then we call it by property type. And again, Power BI very smart, so we just do property type, and Power BI will provide for you. Okay, when we click a new measure here, and you can see a little bit like here. If it's not red, it means our function, our DAX function is correct. So commit it. And we will see a new measure appear here. So building type. We'll come back to the block and we drag the building type in here. So we have 80 building type. So the second block finished, right? The third question is new number of building entity star lower than 50. We click here, Control C, and then Control V. Put here. So the same thing. So what is the building with entity star lower than 50? It means we have to call. We have to count the number of building have entity star, and then entity star is lower than 50. So entity star score here, we click right click mouse, a new measure, and we name it number of building with entity star lower than 50, right? And as I mentioned in during the slide, we have to calculate something with condition. So we use calculate function index, and then index when we type the how to say the syntax of the calculates, we have expression. So the expression we will count the number of building with entity star, right? So we just put entity star score here, right? And with the condition of the filter. So the filter is entity star score lower than 50. Okay, so we can commit it. And then do the same thing. So we click on the block, this block, okay. We remove the field and then we drag the number of building lower than 50. So we have a space of, we have 2,982 building currently have energy size lower than 50. The next question is how many buildings have no star? So maybe it's missing star is 0, not available, something like that. So we do the same thing, copy, Control C and Control V. So we have a new cop here. This one we have to make a new measure. New measure, and here's this number of building no star, right? No stars mean we have space to check their building if we have an opportunity to upgrade the lighting efficiency or not. So we do it by count on score in the data set, right? We have over 40,000 minus on the score with energy star higher than 0. It means we will count every rows where energy star not available or 0. Okay, so in this case we will call again the energy star score with energy star score energy star score higher than 0. Oops, okay, we committed. Okay, we have here building star lower than 50. We click on the block. We want to replace the data. We remove it and we drag on the field. Oh, sorry, this one, no star. So you can see that we on our data set, we have around 41,000 records. And with 28,000 records, we have no data available, or there's building have no data, no star score. Okay, we move to the next step. We make a table. On this table, we have to answer the question: is what is average energy star by property type? It's easy. So we check property type, right? First, so Power BI will show you a new block here, and then you select the second parameters is energy star score, and you will have a table, right? Okay, what happened with this table? We drag here, we move, I'm sorry, move here, okay. Okay. So we check what data we have here. So energy star score, we click in here and we see that it matters sum. We do not want to sum. We want average, right? So we have a table with different property type. So bureau, data center, financial office, etc. And their property types have average energy star score here. So overall energy star of our data set is 69. Okay, we let say this is a third type of block. So we try to format it. Format it by example, the value is a little bit bigger. It's maybe yes, 12. Okay. We want a background. No, we want a border maybe. So we want a border. We put it on border, and then the radius border is 10. So let's say, okay, it's 9 now. So energy star score. In this table, it's easy to sort value, right? So you can see that we can find out which type of property have highest energy star, or you can click on 3 dots here and sort. So you want to sort ever what property type or energy star score. We want a small issue here is we cannot see. So this table is the title is too long example. So I will rename this one. Maybe energy star. Okay, score. And okay, it's a little bit better, right? So we just finished the table. We Control C and Control V. We move to a next the visualization to answer the question is what is the average energy star whether years of the building. So in this case, we have block here. We just remove two value data set and we select year because we want the year data series will be in the axis, right? And then the energy star score in a vertical axis, right? And we want to show it under the bar chart, right? Okay. Here we move a year view in the axis. Okay, it's better. we format it. We click here, format. In here is axis, right? Maybe we little zoom into 1/800 example, okay, or maybe 1/850. Okay, I put 190, 1/900. For the energy star score, we want is not sum, we want average. Change it. Okay. Back to format. We data level. No need. The year we have year view and average star score. One function is we want to show what is the average one. The average one we make we select the block. We select in the search sample here, and we have several options. If the data set here is a data series, we will have forecast function here. That's not here. We make a median or average line, so we add average line. We put it in red sample. In red, it's not red. Okay, red here, and put the label on. So the label is maybe in red also to different sets. You can see here the average is 67, and we have a space for every year, every building built in every year to improve the energy efficiency, right? And for some building with year was example here in 90. Oops. In 1901, we have energy star score is 91. So it's not easy to apply for this building example. So let's move on for the next one. We Control C, Control V, and we have another block put in here. To answer the question, what type of building have high energy consumption? So for this one, we have to answer, and we have to make a new measure, and the new measure to count how many buildings have a high energy consumption. High energy consumption is mean the different energy consumption of this building is higher than the medium of every building. So we put a new measure. So we put in here is number building high energy equal calculates, right? Counts for building ID, and then if the different in so different from national medium sites, okay, you sites higher than 0. Okay, it's fine, so we commit. Back to this the block, and we remove data. Okay, we have block with same size, with same formatting, and now we put it in property type. Click, and then number of building with high energy, and we want it maybe it's donut. It's easier to see, right? So we can see here It's multi-family housing. It's most with have highest energy consumption. And because we have a donut chart, so maybe the title here is not, the legend here is not necessary. So we will remove it by going to the format, the legend of, okay. So we maybe put smaller one. And then, so we have done it already, right? So we do a pie chart. We make Control C, Control V. Everyone, we have a meeting at 8, right?
It's alright. Can continue. Delay the meeting.
We cannot hear your voice
If
properly.
it takes more time, it's all right. And I suggest that if all guys okay, can we continue the EDA meeting here?
No. We should use the prescribed meeting.
Sorry?
We use the another one link for the EDA meeting.
So what should we do now?
Dong, you can you have another 10 minutes. You can go ahead.
Yes, maybe I
10
will close in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so we move to the next question is to answer the question, what is the relationship between the size and the source of energy? The size, so EUI here we have two parameters, and maybe I could explain briefly what is different. We have a EUI and we have two EUI. So we have site energy. Site energy is a value of electrical building consumption. It appear on the bill every month. And the source energy is mean the electrical source that a building consume from several source. It's not just electrical. It's maybe they use electrical to generate something, and example from hot water, and hot water to generate something. So the source EUI is always higher than the site EUI. Oh, okay. In this way, we just remove, we select on the block, remove data, and select two type of data that we want to appear on the chart. And we want to cipher, right? Site energy and the source energy. And we want is not the donut one, but we want to line and stack bar. Okay, so the axis is the size. We move here. What happened? Slide and the socks, my property. I miss a property. So the column, the share is properties, and the line is size. Column is a source. Column series property type, and column series is source. I'm sorry, column value is source. I'm sorry. So we want to show the relationship between the property type and the sides EUI and the source EUI. So it's up to you. It's maybe we want to show the column value is the source or the side, up to you. And the light is the side. What I'm doing is the column is the source, and the line one is the side, and the x-axis is property type. You can see here, and of course we have to check what value is not sum. We transform its average. It's easier because it makes a smaller one. Okay, we do a quick format by clicking on the block, back in here, format, and then we format the y-axis. Maybe we just stop around 10,000 to see, right? So in this case, maybe I smaller one to zoom in, right? So this case, we can see that the consumption energy of different property type versus between the relationship between the UI, the soft UIs, and the side UI of different property types. So you can see here. So we have manufacturer side here. Is the energy consumption is a lot. For this case, we have several ways to handle it, and the best way is we to remove it because this value is maybe the outlier. Okay, we move to the next question. Is a tree map. Tree map. We try to answer the question: is a distribution of building by area. Okay, so same thing, we remove data, and we have to show the building by area, this one, and so the number of building and the number of building. So the number of building, I could do it quickly by building here and add into value, right? And cow, okay, it's done. And I want to transform it in, okay, in the tree map. Easy, right? Okay, maybe a little bit smaller one, this one. So you have flexible to modify the size of different block. Okay. Okay. So when we finish this chart, there is example here. So we have a building type with the area from 20,000 to 49,999 square feet, right? And here we also this type building, but we have another name. It's a CDR building, but we do not want it. So in this case, we back to the data set here, and check, right? And check here. So the last column here, say Excel is some place they name different, so it's CDO something. So the ways to fix it is we make a new column. So in this case, we make a new column. It's not a new measure, right? Make a new column. So we select this one and make a new column. In new column, we make is a area building type, and it will be we want to remove every extra work around CD our building or something like that. So we use substitute DAX function, and the text is NA. The text is this column. You can see the text is from this column, and we want to substitute the text of CD CD our building right. Okay, by 0, by a null value. So, and then because there are two works of CD out building and buildings, so we have to substitute again one more time. We might substitute again one more time to replace on the CD building with S. All of you understand what I'm doing? It's okay.
Don't sorry, your time is finished, I think.
Okay, it's maybe a little bit advanced.
But we understood so far, Dom.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a great session. Vidra, we cannot hear you, like your voice is breaking.
Okay. Okay. So maybe we for the last one, you can try to build yourself, and we will discuss in the next section or some other occasion. It's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Okay, sorry, but it's take time. And because we had a report, it take a lot of time, and we have to use DAX function also, and with around 35 minutes, not enough, maybe. Okay, so I let you on do the last one. It's okay, and I can share my Power BI final file 1 to everyone to check.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for your attention and for your listening. Maybe we switch to the meeting now.
Thank you
It
so
was
much.
an amazing
Thanks,
learning
Dom.
session. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks. Good
You're
session.
welcome, man. Yeah,
Thanks, Dom.
you're welcome.